Imagine grinding 11 years of your life on a game that every single player called unbeatable. No money, no clout. Your rent? Already late. You're surviving off mukbang streams pulling $500 a month, and then one day, you finally beat it. You're the only person on the planet to ever clear the Tower of Trials. The game says, congratulations. Then it hits you with a reboot update. Then the tower becomes real, and every human on Earth gets the same message. Clear the next floor within 30 days, or you will perish. This is the story of Kang Jin-hyuck, the broke, washed-up gamer who already knows every secret the tower has to offer, and he's about to use all of it to become the most dangerous player alive. Let's get into it. So, the Tower of Trials. It was a VR game, released over a decade ago, and from day one, it had one reputation: absolute trash. Not trash because the graphics were bad. Not trash because it was boring. Trash because it was impossible. We're talking floor guardians that were practically invincible. Arctic levels at -60 degrees that killed you in under an hour. Labyrinths stretching over 10,000 kilometers. This game wasn't designed for fun. It was designed to break you. Korean gamers, and you know how Korean gamers are, went absolutely sicko mode trying to conquer it. No sleep, no food, just pure grind demon energy. And after 3 years, the entire community came to one conclusion. The Tower of Trials is unbeatable. Players started leaving. The monthly user count tanked. Everyone gave up. Well, almost everyone. Because there was one guy. One absolute degenerate of a gamer who refused to stop. He didn't do it for fame. He didn't do it for money. He did it because, and I'm quoting the man himself, it was simply fun. The feeling of researching unknown strategies, repeating them over and over until they became second nature, and then, finally, breaking through to the next floor. That feeling was enough for Kang Jin-hyuck to devote 11 years of his life to one game. And then, it happened. Floor 50, cleared. A message appeared on screen. Congratulations, you are the first person to have cleared the Tower of Trials. The first, the only. Nobody else on Earth had ever done it, and Jin-hyuck is just sitting there like, is this for real? But here's the thing about our boy Jin-hyuck. He's not some rich kid with a gaming setup worth more than a car. He's 27 years old, living alone, making $500 a month doing mukbang streams where he literally starves himself for days so he can afford the food. His rent is late constantly. People used to tell him he should become a professional fighter because the man can throw hands, but right now, money matters more than fists. So he's about to quit. He's lying in bed thinking, I'll post the retirement announcement tomorrow. He's done, finished, hanging up the controller. Then he wakes up with a hangover and decides to upload his tower clear video first. That's when things get weird. He checks his phone. There's a live stream running. And on that stream, there's a tower, a real tower, not VR, not a game, a real, physical, impossible structure standing in the middle of a city. Then the notification drops. Whisper. Tower of Trials. Reboot version. First update has been completed. Jin-hyuck stares at the sky. There's a sunset burning across the horizon. But it's not a sunset. It's the sign of beginnings. The exact same visual that plays in the game when a new cycle starts. And then, the final message hits every human on the planet. Shout, everyone, please clear the next floor of the tower within 30 days. If you fail, you will perish. The game just became reality, and the only person who's ever beaten it is a broke streamer with a hangover. But here's the crazy part. Jin-hyuck isn't scared. He's not panicking like everyone else. His heart is racing, but not from fear, from excitement, because he already knows everything. Every floor, every boss, every hidden item, every secret. While the world is running around screaming, trying to flee the country, Jin-hyuck is sprinting toward the danger. Now is not the time to retreat, he tells himself. It's time to charge in. Main, character, energy, through the roof. So Jin-hyuck rushes to the nearest external zone, basically the spots in the real world that match event areas from the game. He ends up at a central underground strip mall. The moment he walks in, system message pops up. You are now entering an event zone. And he's not alone. There are other players here. All former Tower of Trials gamers who recognize what's happening. And they're all glaring at each other. Because the item about to spawn, it's limited. Maybe 5 at most. Then, a voice cuts through the tension. Sarcastic. Ha 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 ha. It really is you, Kang Jin-hyuck. And out walks this smug dude in a suit, Lee Jong-soo, partnered streamer, 500,000 subs on YouTube, CEO of the company Jin-hyuck used to stream under. And here's the kicker, this man ran a slave contract operation. He tricked streamers into garbage deals where the more they streamed, the more money they lost. His lawyers silenced anyone who complained. Jin-hyuck's closest friends left the industry because of this guy. And now he's standing here, smiling, asking Jin-hyuck to share secrets like former co-workers. Jin-hyuck's face goes dead cold. Co-workers? The man punches Lee Jong-soo straight in the face. Teeth go flying. He shakes out his fist. That felt great. Peak aura moment. But there's no time to celebrate. Because the ground starts shaking. The event mob spawns, the mangrove of greed, a massive twisted tree covered in glowing fruit. And every single fruit on that tree raises your strength, agility, health, and magic stats. Everyone scrambles. People are punching, shoving, climbing over each other for fruit. Shout, "It's mine! Don't make me laugh!" Absolute chaos. But Jin-hyuck isn't going for the fruit. See, most players, even the ones who played the game, they think the fruit is the prize. Grab a few, get some stats, call it a day. But Jin-hyuck knows the real play. He knows that if you eat all the fruit, something else happens. Something way more valuable. The problem? Eating all the fruit summons the mangrove into boss phase, and it gets lethal. Vampiric vines attack from every angle. At this stage, everyone's basically level 1. One hit and you're cooked. So Jin-hyuck turns to Lee Jong-soo, the same guy whose teeth are still on the floor, and goes, "You want to survive? Help me. We charge from opposite sides. You're the distraction." Lee Jong-soo isn't stupid. He knows he can't solo this. He agrees. But here's where it gets insane. The moment the mangrove enters boss mode, vines are flying. Attacks come from every direction. Lee Jong-soo is screaming, barely dodging. I died here at least 50 times in the game. But Jin-hyuck? He's not even flinching. His eyes are tracking every vine. Whisper. 22 degrees from the left, 35 from the right. He's calling out attack angles like a human computer. Because he memorized the mangrove's patterns, every single one, across thousands of attempts in the game. He deflects, he dodges, he manipulates attacks to his advantage, and then he goes in for the kill. First in the world to defeat the mangrove of greed. The reward? The tree orb. A single item that grants 28 bonus stat points. For reference, leveling up once gives you 3 points. So this one item is worth more than 9 level-ups, in a world where everyone else is level 1. Jin-hyuck just put himself in a completely different dimension from every other player on the planet. The system asks him to register his name in the Hall of Fame. He declines. Gives himself a hidden identity instead. Mosaic face. Voice changed. He doesn't want the attention, not yet, but the stat screen doesn't lie. Kang Jin-hyuck. Level 1. All stats maxed for a beginner. The strongest level 1 in existence. So Jin-hyuck uploads the Mangrove Clear video. And at first, the internet does what the internet does. Hate, disbelief. He got lucky. He cheated. No way a level 1 did that. But then the full video drops, and the chat goes silent. Then it explodes. People start posting stuff like, "I cleared the 8th floor, but I'm nothing compared to this." Others are just typing, "I'm speechless." The whole Tower of Trials community is on fire. Every comment section, every thread, absolute meltdown. Then the DMs start flooding in. Construction company directors offering $1 billion plus $100 million per month just to consult. Multiple guilds trying to recruit him. Sponsorship offers, the works, $1 billion. That's almost $1 million. For a guy who couldn't afford rent last week. And Jin-hyuck looks at all of it and says, "No, I don't plan to share my knowledge for 1 or even 10 billion won, because he understands something nobody else does yet. In this new world, knowledge is the most broken resource that exists. Why sell your secrets when you can use them to become the most powerful player alive?" Instead, he opens a map and sets his sights on his next target, the National Museum of Korea. When the tower update hit, mana leaked into the outside world, and every artifact sitting in museums, supercharged. The great map of the East Land, the ceremonial Persian formwork, the right eye mask of Tutankhamun, these aren't museum pieces anymore, they're power. And the National Museum of Korea has the biggest collection in the country. Jin-hyuck arrives. It's quieter than he expected, but someone got here first. He presses further inside and finds exactly what he expected to find. The medieval gallery is a war zone. Everybody wants one thing, the great map of the East Land, the most hyped item in the building. It contains tower information up to the 10th floor, maze locations, monster stats, item drop tables. Who wouldn't want it? Jin-hyuck knows something they don't. The map is a trap, a shiny distraction that makes everyone miss the real prizes. But first, the gallery itself is chaos. People brawling, screaming, threatening each other over a single artifact. A guy with a golden chain and red neck tattoos flexes first. His arms transform into solid stone, a unique ability, already awakened. "The map is mine. Move!" Weapons get drawn, a hammer, an iron pipe. The room is seconds from a massacre. That's when an old man walks in, gray hair, mustache, hands clasped behind his back, white shirt, and a sleeveless blue vest, walking like he owns the place. "My name is not Old Geezer. It's Min Jung-woo. Live life with kindness and friendship. That is what the name means." The Stone Arms guy does not care about the meaning of anyone's name. "That crusty neck of yours, I'll wrangle it off like a chicken's neck." Min Jung-woo tilts his head, flicks one finger. A fireball appears, right above his fingertip. "Which do you think is faster? For you to break my neck, or for me to turn you into coal?" The Stone Arms guy opens his mouth to answer. Min Jung-woo throws the fireball. "Catch!" The man is ash, golden chain sitting on a pile of black char. Head, a crispy, grinning skull. At his side is Lee Yuri, a woman in a gray sweater and tie, backpack over her shoulder. She crouches beside an Egyptian Anubis sculpture sitting in one of the display cases. Its eyes glow red and black. Purple mana crackles off it. Anyone who moves from now on will be seen as an enemy. I'll make him munch on your head. Let's cooperate, okay? The remaining fighters look at the statue, look at the ash on the floor. Hammers and pipes clatter to the ground. "Take it all. I give up." Min Jung-woo and Lee Yuri just took over the entire museum gallery in under 2 minutes. And then, footsteps. Slow, unhurried, crunching across broken glass like it's a sidewalk. Kang Jin-hyuck walks in, hands in his pockets, looking around at the destruction like a disappointed museum curator. "You've really made a mess of this place. Do you all have no respect for history?" He crouches down, dusts off a piece of fallen paper. At least it didn't tear. Lee Yuri stares at him, cold eyes, not amused. "Do you think I'm joking right now?" The Anubis statue growls, steps forward. And then, hurls the Kopesh sword directly at Jin-hyuk's face. He doesn't dodge. He doesn't even flinch. He slaps it out of the air with one hand. The weapon clatters across the floor behind him. His hand is completely fine. The whole room loses it. What did that guy just do? He deflected the spear. He didn't even dodge it. Jin-hyuck tilts his head at the statue. What are you going to do? Your puppy. Its only weapon is gone, isn't it? Lee Yuri doesn't panic. She rummages through her backpack and pulls out 2 more Anubis statues. Purple mana pours from her hands. 5 statues come alive simultaneously, all of them glowing, all of them aimed at Jin-hyuck. How's this? Are you still smiling? Jin-hyuck tilts his head back and forth like he's measuring something. Yep, somewhere between decent and nice, to be exact. Lee Yuri's expression breaks. Trying to act cool. I don't like you. Jin-hyuck shrugs. Oh, really? Then I should show you. He reaches into his jacket and pulls out a scroll. He tosses it into the air and injects mana into it. White electricity crackles off the paper. A shape emerges, massive, crackling, eyes burning like headlights. System message. Mana has been injected into the Pinewood Tiger, replica. The ruler of the mountains is appearing. A mere jackal bares his teeth in front of the ruler of the mountain? He points forward. Eat them up. The tiger lunges. The first Anubis statue loses its head in one swipe. The second gets bitten through the shoulder and slammed into the ground. The third and fourth get cleaved in half simultaneously. Body parts, severed arms, statue heads flying across the gallery. Lee Yuri watches everything she prepared get demolished in seconds. I've heard of plenty of different ways to use artifacts, but I've never heard of a method like this. And this magical force, I feel like my skin will tear off. The tiger turns to face her, massive, black smoke rolling off its body, eyes fixed. I can't win! She drops to her knees. Jin-hyuck walks up, stands over her. Hand it over. What are you asking for all of a sudden? He crouches down, looks her in the eye. The mask of Tutankhamun. It's useless in Korea. What are you even going to use it for? He doesn't answer, just uses one finger to gesture, and the tiger steps forward. Fine. I'll hand it over. System message. You have obtained the artifact, the Mask of Tutankhamun, replica. All right. Second artifact secured. Yuri looks up. Are you going for the great map of the East Land, too? Jin-hyuck glances back over his shoulder. Map? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. You don't need to worry about it. He instructs the tiger to guard the floor, then heads for the stairs. And in his head, there's only one thought. Let's go. To get the strongest skill in the Tower of Trials. Floors below are chaos. Floor 3 is empty. Jin-hyuck finds Min Jung-woo standing at the top of the stairs looking confused. Because somehow this kid got past Lee Yuri to reach him. But there's no time for questions. Because ahead of them both sits something neither of them can break. A barrier. Blue light. Crackling. Sealing off the deeper part of the museum. I think it's a 1-star rank barrier. Min Jung-woo reaches out. White sparks fly off his fingers. I've never seen one like this before. Neither physical nor magical attacks work on it. Jin-hyuck closes his eyes. Black mana moves around him as he concentrates, tracing the flow, reading where the energy converges, where it divides. Then his eyes open. There's a way to destroy it, but there's a condition. Min Jung-woo raises an eyebrow. The spot where the mana flow diverges. If someone constantly channels flame magic into it, the barrier weakens, enough for one person to slip inside. How long would I need to channel for? Until I go inside and come back out with everything I need. Min Jung-woo is quiet for a moment. He's thinking, and what he's thinking is, nothing gained from hard work would be the worst possible outcome. He looks at Jin-hyuck. Do you promise to hand over the map to me? Jin-hyuck smiles. Of course. I wouldn't want to make an enemy out of a high-ranking magic user. Min Jung-woo exhales, nods. Very well. I'll trust you this time. Then I'll leave it to you, Grandpa. Min Jung-woo's hands ignite. Fire engulfs his fists. He pulls back and slams Mana into the barrier with everything he has. Wah! Fire crashes into the blue wall. Sparks fly. The barrier shudders. Here I go! Jin-hyuck dives through. He slides across the floor on the other side. Min Jung-woo's screaming behind the barrier, sweating, burning through his mana reserve at a terrifying rate. Hurry! Jin-hyuck waves back casually. All right. And then, to himself. In my own way, of course. The inner floors are untouched. Nobody's been here. Almost nobody. One display case is smashed. Inside, the iron sword with Qianlong engraved on it. Gone. System message. The iron sword that has Qianlong inscribed on it. Somebody got here first, set up the barrier, looted the sword, and then left, because they thought that sword was the prize. Jin-hyuck shakes his head. He already finished his business here. I'm sure he's the one who put up the barrier, too. Still not trying to risk anything. Then, a slow smile. But I'm sure even you didn't know this. That the relic you took is nothing but a second-rate relic. He starts searching, moving fast through the displays. This one, and found it. System message, Sangpyeong Tongbo, D. An ancient coin from the Chosen Dynasty. Looks like absolute junk. It is not junk. My personal inherent ability, the last puzzle piece required to make the most powerful skill. His fist closes around it. He starts listing off the other materials he needs. Ceremonial Persian formwork. The Tutankhamun mask he already collected from Yuri. The Sangpyeong Tongbo in his hand. 3 relics. 3 pieces of a puzzle that nobody else even knew existed. 2 relics that look worthless on their own. But when he brings them together, the relics start reacting, glowing, vibrating. A message appears. 2 matching relics detected. 3 replicas of B rank or lower, combined to craft an item of S rank or higher. The relics fuse, and what appears is legendary. The Eye of Truth, the greatest of the 5 eyes in the entire tower. It lets you browse other players' stat windows. It lets you tell whether someone is lying. 3 times a day, but that's not all, because the relic fusion also triggered a hidden quest. And the reward for that quest? An inherent ability, fusion. This changes everything. Fusion allows Jin-hyuck to copy other people's skills and store them in the memory of the world. And then, he can fuse those skills together to create entirely new abilities of a higher dimension. Copy, store, combine, upgrade. That is Jin-hyuck's weapon. Not a sword, not a spell. Knowledge, the ability to take what others have and make it even stronger. And he's about to put it to work. Immediately. So Jin-hyuck walks out of the barrier room. Min Jung-woo is standing there, exhausted, mana nearly drained. And the first thing Jin-hyuck does? He checks his new ability. He activates fusion. Targets Min Jung-woo. The copy condition pops up. Min Jung-woo has always been hiding his true feelings under a mask. Make him reveal his true feelings. Jin-hyuck reads that. Pauses. Then smiles. Sarcastic. Aha! In other words, I just need to piss him off. Now, Min Jung-woo is standing there with the great map. The artifact he risked everything for. The thing that contains tower information up to the 10th floor. The most sought-after item in the entire museum. And Jin-hyuck walks up, takes one look at the map, and says, "You can stop using that skill now." Min Jung-woo is confused. "Didn't I tell you? I don't need this." Then, Jin-hyuck explains. If someone has the map, they gain information up to the 10th floor. Which means Jin-hyuck's advantage, His knowledge gets smaller. His head shrinks. Then the best thing to do, Jin-hyuck says calmly, is to get rid of that possibility. He grabs the map, and he burns it. Right in front of Min Jung-woo's face, Min Jung-woo's mask shatters. The old man, who was cool and collected, just snaps. His true feelings come roaring out like a dam breaking. Shout, "You son of a! I'll kill you! I'll grind you to a pulp!" Ding! The conditions have been met. You have successfully copied the element of fire. Jin-hyuck stands there with flames dancing around his fingertips, looking absolutely unbothered. Min Jung-woo is still screaming, threatening revenge. But then he sees it, the fire in Jin-hyuck's hand, the same skill, his skill. That's the same skill as mine. But it's not just the same. It's stronger. The power of Jin-hyuck's copied version exceeds Min Jung-woo's original. Min Jung-woo's rage turns to shock, then to something deeper, fear. Because he realizes this kid isn't just some lucky noob. This is something else entirely. Whisper, "What exactly are you?" Jin-hyuck just looks at him, cold, composed, flames still flickering. "Old man, if you want to climb the tower comfortably, you better listen to my words." And just like that, Jin-hyuck picks up his first pawn. Min Jung-woo, Lee Yuri, the other fighters in the museum, they're all falling in line, not because they like him, but because they fear what he can do. He checks his status screen. Name, Kang Jin-hyuck, Level 1. Unique ability, Fusion. Skills, Element of Fire, Eye of Truth, Stats, completely stacked. But even he knows there's a long way to go. He can't be everywhere. He can't grab every opportunity. So he needs to prioritize, focus on the most important targets. And every single one of them, he thinks, will be mine. Meanwhile, the world is on fire, not just metaphorically. News reports flooding in. Museum attacks in America, Europe, China, Japan. Players in every country raiding artifact collections. At least 23 dead at the National Museum alone. The number is expected to rise. And the government, they're moving fast. Faster than Jin-hyuck expected. They've already established a new department, the Awakened Association, staffed by people who've gained special powers. The chairman, Han Sang-jin, goes on TV and announces, "Guaranteed minimum salary of 60 million won. Full government support. Everyone is buzzing. This is a huge deal." But Jin-hyuck, he watches Han Sang-jin on TV and his brain is already doing calculations. Not, "Should I join?" But, "What skill does this man have? And can I copy it?" The offer is tempting. The salary alone would change his life. But Jin-hyuck knows better. Being under someone else's control, following orders, that's not his style. He doesn't need their money. He needs their skills. Whisper, "No matter what they offer me, I have no intentions of joining." And then, the moment everyone has been waiting for. 7 p.m. The clock strikes the hour. The Tower of Trials opens. Every player gets the same message. 100 coins. An explanation of the currency system. You can earn more coins by uploading videos of your accomplishments. 100 coins for every 10,000 views. But there's a catch. The live broadcast function can only be used during boss fights. And if you're caught cheating or manipulating view counts, whisper, "Adequate punishment." Yeah, let's not find out what that means. It's genius, really, a bridge between the players climbing the tower and the people watching from outside. The more famous you become, the more coins you earn. It's a content creator's dream, and everyone rushes, players sprinting to the Goblin Cave because it's the easiest farming spot on floor 1. "If we can get a good spot, it'll be easy farming." They're pushing, shoving, fighting to be first. But Jin-hyuck doesn't follow the crowd. He already knows what the first thing he needs to do is. Something special that nobody else would think to do first. See, back when the game was still a game, there came a point where players couldn't progress past floor 30. They were stuck. And the solution wasn't on floor 30. It was hidden in the lower floors, in an abandoned ruin, in a labyrinth, Labyrinthos, a maze designed by Daedalus himself. Difficulty rating B, confusing paths, numerous traps, and the key to everything above floor 30. While everyone else is grinding goblins for pocket change, Jin-hyuck walks straight into the labyrinth. Alone. At level 1. Whisper. Never thought I'd have to go through this again. But he's not alone for long. A group of players followed him in, led by a girl named Park Hana, 22, cute smile, friendly energy. She walks up to Jin-hyuck with a cheerful, "Hello," and suggests they cooperate to clear the labyrinth together. "We can all share the risk of danger," she says with a warm smile. Jin-hyuck activates the Eye of Truth, and what he sees is interesting. Park Hana, Level 1, Skills, Commune, Quick Step, Weak Healing. That commune skill, it naturally makes you friendly with anyone, even strangers. It can completely erase feelings of discomfort. She's not being nice because she's a nice person. She's literally using a skill to manipulate people into trusting her. And the copy condition? Cooperate with Park Hana for at least 240 hours. Once those hours pass, there must be no one nearby. Jin-hyuck files that away, useful, down the road. The group introduces themselves. Jang Chul-sik, Lee Hyemin, Jang Mina, Cheon Min-guk, some tough guy who's never even played Tower of Trials. Du Kwang-woo, also a total newbie. Jin-hyuck listens to all of them and thinks one thing, sarcastic. They're obviously going to stab me in the back later, so there's no need to remember each of their names. Cold, but accurate. They ask him what kind of monsters are in the labyrinth. He gives them some information, enough to keep them useful. But here's what he doesn't tell them. The labyrinth changes. At fixed time intervals, the entire structure shifts. Walls fly, paths rearrange, and if you're not ready for it, boom! The labyrinth starts shifting. Walls are flying. The ground is rotating. The group is screaming, dodging chunks of stone, scrambling to survive. Mina gets separated. People are getting scraped, bruised, cut up, and the moment it stops, they turn on Jin-hyuck. Shout, "Why didn't you tell us? The walls were flying at us. We almost died because of you. He's hogging all the information." And Jin-hyuck just stands there, unmoved. "Did I ask you to follow me?" Dead silence. "You guys decided to follow me on your own. I didn't drag you in here." Pure big boss energy. But before anyone can argue further, a scream rips through the labyrinth. Shout, "Kyak! Min-guk!" Everyone turns. Cheon Min-guk, the big tough guy, is on the ground. Something hit him, something massive, and then they see it, stepping out from the shadows of the labyrinth. Horns, hooves, a body like a wall of muscle, eyes burning with pure animal rage, a minotaur. On the first floor. Shout, "A minotaur? This should only be a labyrinth on the first floor." The group is losing it. This thing is too strong, too fast, too big. One swing of its fist sends Min-guk flying like a ragdoll. "We're gonna die!" Someone screams. The minotaur charges. The group scatters. Everyone is running, tripping, crawling. Hyemin can't find the exit. Her navigation skill got canceled when the labyrinth shifted. Whisper, "We're trapped in here?" Jin-hyuck just watches, calm, calculating. He knew this was coming. He was waiting for it. The minotaur swings, a massive fist aimed at crushing everything in its path. And Jin-hyuck moves, not backward, not away. He moves into the attack, slipping past the minotaur's fist by inches. The group watches in absolute disbelief. Someone whispers, "What is he?" He dodges the attack, clean, precise, like he's done it 1,000 times before, because he has. And then, the system notification. You have obtained the hidden stat, Rift. Jin-hyuck lands on his feet. The Minotaur roars behind him. The group is frozen. And somewhere out there, in the Labyrinth's entrance, another group of players is watching through the shadows. The ones who plan to kill Jin-hyuck and take his items. He whisper. All we have to do is let him have his eternal rest inside the Labyrinth. They have no idea what they just walked into. Because the man they're hunting just unlocked a hidden stat. A stat that shouldn't exist for at least another 10 floors. He's about to use a hidden stat to turn a boss monster into his personal gym equipment. But before we see him absolutely cook this beast, do me a favor. Unlike Jin-hyuck's old streams, this channel actually has a future. Smash that like button so the algorithm knows we've got that main character energy, and subscribe so you don't miss part 2. Because trust me, you're gonna want to see what he does to this Minotaur, back to the Labyrinth. So picture the scene. The Labyrinth is dim. There's a 12-foot Minotaur standing in the middle, snorting. Fists the size of car doors. Cheon Min-guk, the big tough guy, is already crumpled on the ground after one hit. The rest of the group? Frozen, panicking. Park Hana is screaming for them to dodge, and Jin-hyuck is just walking forward. The Minotaur swings. A full-force haymaker that would turn a level 1 player into paste. And Jin-hyuck doesn't block it, doesn't even raise his arms. He just tilts his body by inches. And the fist whooshes past his ear like he's dodging a lazy jab at a bar. Ding. Whisper. You have obtained the hidden stat, Rift. Now the group is losing their minds. They're shaking. Somebody whispers, What is he? Because what they don't know is that Jin-hyuck has been waiting for this hidden stat since the original game. He knows exactly what it does. Here's the gimmick. Rift is a stat that reduces the level gap between you and a stronger opponent, and increases the gap when you fight someone weaker. Every 3 points in this stat reduces a stronger enemy's level by 7. 7 for every 3 points. In other words, Jin-hyuck just found the one stat in the entire tower that lets a level 1 newbie punch up against a level 30 boss. Every time he narrowly dodges a fatal attack, the stat goes up. Every time he eats a vine to the face, the stat goes up. The Minotaur is literally a Rift stat vending machine, and Jin-hyuck is about to max his points. He wrote the formula in his head years ago. He whisper, the way to get stronger quickly is simple. Gamble with your life on the line. The higher the risk, the higher the reward. And here's the punchline. He's memorized every single attack pattern of the Minotaur. Thousands of game deaths taught him the geometry. He knows the timing to the millisecond. So while the group is frantically trying to figure out where the exit is, Jin-hyuck straight up invites them to join. If you also want some stats, why don't you guys try it? You get a hidden stat if you evade his attacks. It's easier than it looks. Some of the group charge in. And the second they swing, Jin-hyuck slips behind the Minotaur and bolts. Leaves them as bait. The Labyrinth changes. Walls fly. The Minotaur rampages. The party barely survives. When they finally catch back up to him, shaking with rage, shout, "How long do we have to stay in this hellish place?" Jin-hyuck's answer is cold, flat, absolutely unhinged. For a month. 30 more days, in the Labyrinth, using the Minotaur as a personal training dummy. And if they don't want to go along with him, fine. He knows the only exit. Without him, they're going to wander this maze until they starve. So they've got 2 choices. Follow him around, watch him farm stats on a boss monster daily, and hope they survive. Or die. Nothing is free in this world. Now, we've got to pause the Labyrinth arc for a second, because the next chapter opens on something crazy happening on the outside. The Korean servers' community forums are going absolutely feral. Somebody just posted a 15-hour goblin dungeon clear by a guy calling himself human bald male. People are losing it. 15-hour solo clear? I need to go change my underwear. Brand new streaming star. Kids feeding off the hype. Then, right at the top of the Hall of Fame, a new notification pops up. A new video has been uploaded. Everyone clicks, and the title is just Successful Plus 10 Reinforcement. Now, for context, the probability of successfully reinforcing an item to plus 10 in this game is 0.0000012. I'm not even joking. It's basically impossible. The chat loses it. Crazy. Plus 10 reinforcement? What's the probability rate? Somebody does the math in real time. Shout, divide 178,140,000 by 10. That's impossible. And on that video, at the top of the leaderboard, a mosaic-faced level 1 player holding a plus 10 old dagger, the first plus 10 item in the entire Korean server. 5,000 coin bonus. The world is in shambles. They are shouting, how can something like this happen? Cut back, 10 minutes earlier, inside the labyrinth. See, while everyone's been sleeping on beds made of moss and eating mushrooms, Jin-hyuck has been busy. Inside the labyrinth, he has access to the system store, and he's been buying trash. Absolute garbage that nobody else would touch. Enchanted tarot cards. A worn-down bronze key fragment, a wooden cartwheel fragment, and 10 lottery reinforcement scrolls, items famous for being statistically useless. Everyone would look at this stuff and think, why is this guy stocking up on junk? But Jin-hyuck knows something they don't. He combines the 3 trash items and gets an incomplete legendary item. Goddess Fortuna's Luck. This thing maxes your luck stat, temporarily, for 10 minutes, one-time use, with restrictions on its range of usage, which sounds useless, unless you know exactly what range you have to be in to make it work. Jin-hyuck knows, because he's experienced every variation of this system across thousands of attempts. He pops the item, maxes his luck, and then, I'll use all 10 of them on this dagger. He stacks 10 reinforcement scrolls on a rusty old dagger. Probabilities are irrelevant when your luck stat is maxed. The screen flashes. Shout, you have obtained old dagger plus 10 max. Unusual achievement. You are the first to create a plus 10 item in the Korean server. You have obtained 5,000 coins. And while the group outside is bickering about roasted moss and who gets the last water, Jin-hyuck is sitting in a corner holding a blade stronger than any weapon currently existing on the first floor of the tower. Day 0 of this hellish life. 30 days to go, no food but mushrooms, and he already has the most broken item in the country. Peak main character energy. So, Park Hana's group is broken. 30 days of moss stew, a minotaur chasing them on a schedule, and this freak of a guy who keeps laughing at their misfortune. But Park Hana has a trump card. Her brother, Park Ha-jin, is a member of the Crow Guild, one of the top organizations in Korea. And before she went into the labyrinth, he gave her a little gift. A single vial, a deadly poison. 1 drop kills 100 trolls. The plan is simple. Poison Jin-hyuck's food, wait until he's dead, loot his items, wait for the Crow Guild to rescue them. Except here's the problem. Jin-hyuck already knows. Remember the Eye of Truth? He activated it early. He watched them whisper. He saw the vial. And he saw the copy condition on Park Hana flashing on his HUD. Cooperate with Park Hana for at least 240 hours. Once 240 hours pass, there must be no one nearby. So he sits down at dinner, plays along, eats the roasted mushrooms and moss, smiles, asks for seconds. The group is smug. Sarcastic, LMAO. He swallowed it. They're typing in their secret broadcast chat. Yeah, they have an illegal hidden broadcast running while they try to murder a man. Your esophagus must feel hot. That's what you call a food snatcher. Jin-hyuck slides his plate over. Chulsik, give me some more mushrooms and moss. The group howls. Shout, He ate it! Then he switches plates, right in front of them, without them noticing, because he's been trained for 11 years to move faster than anyone in the room. Min-guk, the big tough guy, keels over, foaming at the mouth. The group freezes, and Jin-hyuck looks up from his plate, dead calm. Idiot! Did you think I would carelessly eat whatever you guys give me? When I asked you for more, I made a quick switch while you guys were distracted. Then he smiles. And you guys, hidden broadcasts are an illicit act. They freeze. Shout, what are you talking about? Do you have proof? Jin-hyuck doesn't even look at them. He just reports them to the system. The screen flashes. The hidden broadcast is exposed. Their anonymity, stripped. Their viewer count, 0. Every viewer watching their illegal stream is banned for a month. Second offense, permanent ban. Penalty to the involved player has been changed to a harsh fate. And Park Hana? Her face cracks, because the system is about to come for her. She panics, tries to bargain. Shout, "My brother is in the Crow Guild!" Jin-hyuck doesn't flinch. He lights up his palm with the element of fire. Between that stupid guild and me, which one should you fear more? She's frozen, begging. She whisper, "Please." He gives her one order. Tell him everything about the Minotaur's patterns, everything she knows, every tactic her group planned. She spills, and behind the scenes, the invisible clock ticks past the 240-hour mark. Cooperated for the minimum time? Check. No one nearby? The group is dead or disowned. Check. Condition fulfilled. You have successfully copied the skill. Commune. Jin-hyuck just casually acquires the skill that lets you charm literally anyone into trusting you. Skill number 3 in the collection. And the horror on Park Hana's face as she realizes he used her from the very first second? Chef's kiss. So now it's day after day after day. Jin-hyuck is standing in the Minotaur's face, eating grazing hits, banking Rift stat points like a Wall Street quant. 0.05, 0.05, 1.5, 2 points. The Minotaur is losing it. Every time they fight, this scrawny level 1 dodges a little better, blocks a little smarter, and then one day, the Minotaur does something new. His body swells. Red mist pours out of his horns. His eyes go solid black. The Guardian of the Labyrinth Minotaur has activated level 10 Berserker. Attack, speed, and movement all increase by 30% for 5 minutes. As a bonus, his intelligence spikes. He can now speak. The Minotaur shouts, "I'll rip you to shreds and scatter your pieces all over this dungeon." The group from outside, watching through the shadows, literally falls to their knees. They whisper, not even the full force of the Crow Guild could match that. How can that crazy bastard be laughing in this situation? But Jin-hyuck, he stops dodging. Yeah, you heard me? He stops dodging. He starts blocking, redirecting the force of the Berserker's punches, catching a swing with his forearm and letting the momentum spin past him. How can this be? He's not dodging anymore. He's redirecting the attacks. You see, Jin-hyuck hated the feeling of reality back in the days when he was broke and nobody cared about him. He felt powerless, like he was running and going nowhere. But in this world, in this stupid, violent tower that tried to break him, every effort he pours in gives something back. He whispers, "This world responds to me." Rift stat points, plus 57 in one 5-minute burst. That alone closes a 19-level gap between him and anyone else. But he's not done. The moment the Berserker skill runs out, the Minotaur collapses, because activating Berserker has a 24-hour suspended state penalty. He's stuck, frozen, defenseless, and Jin-hyuck has 20 days left to grind. He wrings out every last point from the stunned boss, plus 0.015, plus 0.015, plus 0.015, until, ding, Rift stat points obtained, 100. Target achieved, threshold cleared, power ceiling smashed. Jin-hyuck looks down at the helpless calf, the mighty guardian of the labyrinth, with a cold little smirk. Time to say goodbye, calf. I guess the only thing left is how to dispose of you. And that's how the first Minotaur on the first floor of the Tower of Trials dies. To a level 1 player, with a +10 rusty dagger, over 30 days of systematic farming. Now for the cold, brutal aftermath. The labyrinth clears. Park Hana's group pours out into the sunlight. Broken, bruised, having watched a god walk among them for a month. And immediately, Jin-hyuck turns to Park Hana and goes, "We will now begin recruiting interns for our veteran company." She flinches. She whisper, "Intern? Tell me what you have to offer that can benefit the company." Park Hana is basically hyperventilating. She blurts out her sales pitch. "My exclusive skill commune will be of use for the management of the company." "It's not exclusive anymore," Jin-hyuck replies flatly. He already copied it. She panics, starts begging. "I'll never betray you." He shrugs. "That's it? There's nothing else you—" Disappointment. But then she says something desperate. I'll give you Braham's ring with China as payment." My brother said he'll be negotiating with China for offering them Korean ginseng. Braham's ring. One of the best items on floor 1, boosts movement speed, grants magic resistance, and suppresses the magic power of monsters. Jin-hyuck activates Eye of Truth. She's telling the truth. Condition fulfilled. Congratulations. You have passed and become an intern of the veteran company. Now, the really dark part. Our company does not give wages to interns. You must come running to me whenever I call you, wherever you are. I don't care whether it's 3 a.m. or if you're on Jeju Island. Then he fuses. 2 of his skills, Commune and Element of Fire, combined into a brand new ability. You have obtained Brand of Tribulation. What it does, it engraves a tyranny brand on a subject. The branded subject must obey your commands. They are restricted from any actions that can harm you. And if they break the restriction, their entire body will ignite in flames under excruciating pain. A magical slave contract, burned directly onto Park Hana's face. Congratulations for entering our black company, intern. She doesn't even try to resist. How could she? She's seen what this man does to people who cross him. She lowers her head. She whisper, "Yes, I will, no matter what." A month inside the labyrinth is a long time. And while Jin-hyuck was gone, the outside world moved. Korea's top guild, the Dangun Guild, is about to launch an attack on the third-floor boss monster in a week. After only 1 month of training, America, Europe, Japan, they're all struggling. China is suspiciously silent. Every eye on the planet has turned to South Korea, waiting to see if the Dangun Guild can clear the third floor and prove humanity has a chance. Jin-hyuck reads the headline, shakes his head. He sarcastically said, "How much do they want to regret it later on?" Because he knows the truth. If you speedrun the lower floors with weak foundations, the difficulty spike will be fierce. There's no retreat after human extinction. If the Dangun Guild eats dirt on floor 3 with the world watching, it's going to send humanity into a panic. But first, he needs friends. Real ones. Guys he can trust. Guys from the old Tower of Trials days. So he pulls up his old guild roster, and 2 names stand out. Lee Tae-min, real name, human bald male, a.k.a. the Nuclear Fist of Bulgwang District. Got the Machine King exclusive ability, a large-scale battle specialist. Already up to level 11 in the real tower. Yu Yeon-hwa. Got the Kyokushin Taekwondo exclusive ability, close combat tank and damage dealer. Level 12. 2 players Jin-hyuck grinded with for years in the original game. He trusts them. They trust him. Copy condition? Once the three of you reach the 20th floor, you can copy their abilities. Long-term investment. He locks it in. Then they drop a bombshell. You said you were somewhere else for a month? Then, did you not take the test yet? And that's when Jin-hyuck learns the new law of the land. The Awakened Association, run by Chairman Han Sang-jin, has passed a decree. Because casualties on floor 2 went through the roof. Nobody is allowed to climb past the first floor unless they pass an awakening test and get ranked. Rank F or below, you don't get to enter. Period. You stay on Earth. Forever. Rank high? Every guild on the planet calls you that afternoon. Jin-hyuck grins. If it's come to this, then that fucking system made by the association, I'll exploit it as much as I can. Cut to the test site. It's a zoo. Reporters, guild captains, celebrity awakened players, and one of them catches Jin-hyuck's eye. Park Ha-jin, 26, Black Crow Guild, Park Hana's older brother, level 8 assassin type with the critical strike exclusive ability, skills, acceleration, stealth, and shallow breathing. Now, Ha-jin is a problem. He's arrogant. His bodyguards shove civilians out of his way. And Jin-hyuck? He doesn't move. Ha-jin's crew tells him to step aside. Jin-hyuck says no. Ha-jin loses it, rolls up. He shouts, "You think nothing's gonna happen since there are many eyes on us?" Eye of Truth activates. Copy condition flashes. If you reach maximum hostility with the subject, you can copy one of the subject's skills that you want. Jin-hyuck smiles. He, sarcastically, said, "Oh who? Maximum hostility?" A beat. The camera holds on Jin-hyuck's grin, and then we don't even see it happen. The next panel is Ha-jin on the ground, feet twisted in an impossible direction, gasping. 1 second he was talking trash. The next, he's broken. Cock! Hey, his feet! How did his feet get twisted? Leave it at that, Jin-hyuck says calmly. But now another problem shows up. Fighting Father, Kim Kai-tae, level 20 plus, leader of the Fighting Father Guild. Older man, rough face, scary aura. He activates Blackout Barrier, a level 3 magical cage that seals the scene off from prying eyes. Classic old guy move. You made a mistake, kid. Jin-hyuck's Eye of Truth fails because the level gap is too wide, so he can't read Kim Kai-tae's sheet directly. But he doesn't need to read it, because he recognizes the man. Isn't it because he's supplying Korean ginseng to China? Kim Kai-tae freezes. Dead silence. Jin-hyuck keeps going. Calm. Surgical. He explains exactly how Kim Kai-tae is currently suffering from magic power poisoning from eating raw ginseng, and the exact 3 items he needs to cure it, including the mandragora root, notoriously hard to find. I'll tell you where you can find them. Kim Kai-tae's eyes widen. His research team hasn't even confirmed that information. He whispers, "Who in the world is he?" Jin-hyuck lays down the price. 10 of your monopolized dungeons, in exchange for the cure. He shouts, "That's an extremely expensive price." You must be misunderstanding something, Jin-hyuck replies. The one offering the opportunity here is me. Kim Kai-tae is about to explode. His rage hits max, and ding! Condition met. You have successfully copied the skill, Shallow Breathing. Skill pulled off Park Ha-jin via maximum hostility. Just like that, Jin-hyuck now has the assassin's passive that lets him control his heart rate and breathing to evade detection. Absolute elite tier stealth passive. Kim Kai-tae leaves, defeated, humiliated. 10 of his best dungeons belong to Jin-hyuck now. Then Jin-hyuck walks up to the examiner. Shall I take that test now? The examiner explains. Strike the magic stone. Show your potential. Most people can't even crack a mid-grade stone. Jin-hyuck, they give him a low-grade stone because of his level 1 status. He asks for the mid-grade one instead, takes out his rusty +10 dagger, activates his maxed-out rift stat, and splits the stone in half. They shouts, "Unbelievable! I've never heard of someone cutting the magic stone in two." Temp rank F. Jin-hyuck asks them to postpone the public report for 1 week. Personal reasons. The examiner stammers but can't refuse. As he's leaving, Park Hana shows up, brings him Braham's ring, delivered, A-rank item, magic suppression 20%, movement speed +5. She's begging. She whispers, "I kept my promise. Please remove the brand." He walks past her without looking. "I'll decide from your actions." Sick. Ice. Cold. Now, second test. You have to clear a dungeon. Most people pick goblin or orc caves. Jin-hyuck picks the one dungeon on the first floor that has never been cleared. Not in the game, not in real life, in 11 years. The Hall of the Depraved. Difficulty rating, 5. He can't go alone because he's only F rank and guilds patrol the ruins, so he registers as a porter, a luggage carrier, a literal servant. The porter crew he rolls with is hilarious. A tough old grandpa looks him up and down. "Ha! You got guts compared to the other young people these days." Grandpas love him. He's adopted within 15 minutes. Then a system ping goes off only for him. The benefit for the one who first conquered the tower has arrived. Yeah, because Jin-hyuck was the very first person to clear the original Tower of Trials, that benefit is finally cashing in now. And what's the reward? Luck stat +10, adaptive stat +10, passive ability, Cold Heart. You are able to keep your composure even in tense situations. However, your human emotions may start to diminish. And second passive, Monopoly. When you take all the final rewards alone without sharing, you can receive the best possible reward among those. In other words, the system just told him, "Be a selfish, ice-cold maniac, and I'll give you the best loot on the map." Isn't this fucking broken? He accepts. Obviously. The raid starts. Attack force led by Song Cheon-hwa, level 14 captain of the Balhae Guild, Korea's top 10. Unique ability, item lightning. Copy condition, gain Song Cheon-hwa's trust during the raid. Okay, noted. But then Jin-hyuck's eyes lock onto someone else. A small figure near the Zion Guild, European elite guild from Amsterdam. Blonde, armored, holy aura radiating off her. Eye of Truth activates, fails, level gap too wide. Then the luck and adaptive stats kick in and nullify the level difference, and the status window cracks open. Name, Teresa de Laurentia, age 22, level 29. Unique ability, Blessing of the Star. Skills, Sacred Reinforcement level 5, Stealth Maneuver level 5, Blessed Touch level 4, Sign of the Cross level 4, Illusion Barrier level 4. The Saintess of Amsterdam. Hero who saved the city from an undead outbreak. Currently one of the most famous players in all of Europe. Top 100 rankers in the entire world. Copy condition. The moment you save her from life-threatening danger, you will be able to copy her unique ability and one of her skills. Jin-hyuck's brain is already calculating. No wonder people are fanatical over her. The problem is, how to create a situation where she'll fall into danger, and how to save her from it. But before he can scheme, crisis alert. Yeonhwa screams from across the ruin. "Hyung, this is bad!" The guards watching over the ruin's ancient security system are dead. Somebody set it off. The guardian of the ruin system is awakening. Timer, 9 minutes, 59 seconds. When it wakes up, it will call upon the guardians that protect the dungeon. The attack force has 10 minutes to prepare. And the brain-dead Balhae Guild captain makes the worst call possible. We'll keep heading inside, because we have the Saintess Teresa. This is a trap. Everyone knows it's a trap. But ego and pressure from the guild brass force the attack force to charge in anyway. Too late. The horns sound. Guardians emerge from every corner of the ruin. The battle explodes. Tankers forward. Dealers charge magic. Teresa activates Sign of the Cross Level 4, a massive holy barrier that blinds the undead. The front line holds, barely. But two Guardians slip past the main force, and they head straight for the rear, where the non-combatants are, porters, healers, scrubs. The guild captain looks up, cold as ice. There are bound to be casualties. It can't be helped. No need to care about those mere solo players. The solo players start screaming. They shouts, "Somebody, please help us." And Jin-hyuck, who was supposed to stay out of this because he's still level 7 and can't afford to gain experience here, sighs, takes off his porter harness, walks calmly out of the ranks. He activates Element of Fire, a single pillar of flame. The guardian behind the non-combatants goes up like a torch. Done. It'll probably die on its own. The second guardian turns toward him. He can't kill it. He has to stay at level 7 for the copy conditions to work, so he just immobilizes it, cold and efficient. But when he turns around, a knife at his throat. A Zion Guild woman, European, tall, hair-braided, absolute zero chill. She thinks he awakened the dungeon. "You must have been the one who awakened the guardian." Teresa intervenes, recognizes him from earlier. "Please, there must be some misunderstanding." The knife girl backs off, and Teresa, the Saintess herself, apologizes profusely. "I'm really sorry." And that's when Jin-hyuck hits her with the knowledge nuke. "Why are you hiding your identity, Jin-hyuck? It's similar to your reason, just like how you're using the Zion Guild as cover to secretly obtain the Covenant of Peter for your job quest." Teresa's eyes go wide. Nobody knows that. Not her team, not the Zion Guild. Only her. She whispers, "How does he know all that?" "I already know how to clear this ruin," Jin-hyuck continues. "The things we want are both in the same place. How about it? Would you like me to accompany you?" Teresa, top 100 ranker, realizes she's not the apex predator in this hallway. She bows. "Would you really come with me?" But there's one problem. The old Balhae Guild captains overhear the conversation, and they go into absolute dad mode. He shouts, "Absolutely not! Are you insane? We have to organize our forces and keep advancing." So Jin-hyuck, I kid you not, does a theatrical performance. He looks at Teresa with big puppy eyes, starts stammering. He whispers, "Have you ever had a burning passion for someone during your youth? This is the moment. This is the moment that I must ignite my passion for love." Max cringe bait. The old men melt. He's this generation's last romanticist. Damn, he reminds me of my youth. He shouts, "Go for it, kid." Teresa is beet red. She whispers, "Why are you being like this? You're scaring me." Permission granted. Jin-hyuck splits from the main force with Teresa and one of the Zion Guild members. And guess who he brings as his porter? You already know, Park Hana. Rule 1 for the day. Make sure you do not make eye contact. Whoever makes eye contact will be dragged away. It's literally her only job now. And they head into the deeper part of the Hall of the Depraved, to the Covenant of Peter. And to the worst meeting of Jin-hyuck's entire life. They make it deep into the ruin, find a massive sarcophagus. Pulse of dark energy. A system message appears, broadcasting directly to Jin-hyuck and Teresa. The owner of the Hall of the Depraved gazes upon you. "It's never shown any interest toward players before," Teresa whispers. "The fact that it's showing us attention in this way? It must have acknowledged us." Jin-hyuck deadpans. "It means it acknowledged me." Teresa stares at him. She whispers, "What is with this man's groundless confidence?" The elite lich appears. Dullahan should be the boss here. But because Teresa's presence altered the dungeon pattern, A stronger boss spawns instead. Black Lightning. Capable of destroying a Dullahan easily, fatal even to veteran rankers. Teresa activates Battle Song level 5. All stats +3 for 10 minutes. Jin-hyuck acts as decoy, drawing aggro. The Elite Lich unleashes Black Lightning that breaks Teresa's level 5 magic barrier, the kind of attack that shreds Class 3 barriers like paper. But then, from deeper in the shadows, a new voice. He whispers, "I finally found you." The man steps out, tall, sharp-eyed, katana at his hip. And he doesn't even acknowledge the boss monster flying around. "You don't recognize me?" Eye of Truth activates. Level gap nullified. Name, Chun-Yu-sung, age 28, level 29. Job, swordsman. Unique ability, Song of Swords. Skills, soul-chasing sword energy level 6, one-on-one level 5, battlefield selection level 5. Jin-hyuck's blood drops, because this man is carrying an iron sword with Qianlong engraved on it, an artifact that disappeared from the National Museum of Korea a month ago. Then the memory hits. Back in the original Tower of Trials game, there was one player, one lunatic, who, after losing a match to Jin-hyuck, kept challenging him. Every single day. No matter where Jin-hyuck was, no matter what he was doing, a warrior-brained psycho who lived only to beat him. That psycho stalker? Chun-Yu-sung's lips curl. To think you wouldn't recognize me just because the game became reality. Did you only see me to that extent? And the copy condition flashes. Chun-Yu-sung believes himself to be stronger than anyone else in the sword. Defeat him using the sword, which he believes in the most. Defeat a level 29 sword saint, using a sword, when Jin-hyuck's literal last weapon is a +10 rusty dagger. Yu-sung activates battlefield selection. They get teleported to a private arena, cutting Teresa off. Then he activates one-on-one level 5, all of Yu-sung's stats +10%, all of Jin-hyuck's stats -10%. An overwhelmingly disadvantageous situation has been detected. And then, the system does something Jin-hyuck didn't expect. The special condition of the skill fusion has been activated. When a situation becomes overwhelmingly disadvantageous, the copy conditions will be modified accordingly. Copying the skill before fulfilling the conditions has been approved. Wait, what? The fusion ability has an emergency override. If Jin-hyuck is about to get cooked, it lets him copy without fulfilling the condition. You have copied the unique ability, Song of Swords. That's not a skill, that's a unique ability. One of the rarest classes of power in the entire tower. The one Chun-Yu-sung spent 11 years mastering. Copied in a single second. Song of Swords. Your body will naturally follow the most efficient sword path, and your body senses will dramatically increase. Stat bonus, +50. Yu-sung swings. Jin-hyuck's body moves without him thinking. He slashes through Yu-sung's sword energies. Clean, precise, like he's been doing this for decades. You slashed all my sword energies? But Jin-hyuck isn't done. I'll fuse Song of Swords with the demonic soul pill. Fusion. Overrank has been activated. The skill Song of Swords fuses with an old consumable Jin-hyuck has been carrying. And what comes out the other side is something the tower has never produced before. You have obtained the unique ability, Grave of Swords. Grave of Swords. Increases your understanding of swords by 500. Your body will naturally follow the most ideal sword path, and your body senses will reach the maximum. It is one of the talents necessary to receive the title Sword Demon. Yes, Sword Demon. That's an actual endgame title. The sub-skill Knight of the Black Moon activates. Jin-hyuck can only channel a fraction, like 1/10, of the full power, but even a tenth of this ability is enough. Yu Sung charges with his best technique. Jin-hyuk's body moves on instinct. Sword to sword, the Sword Saint, versus a man who copied Sword Sainthood 5 seconds ago. Yu Sung screams, "Why can't I surpass you? I did my absolute best, inside and outside the game, only to defeat you. I can't accept this." Jin-hyuck answers with a slash that turns out the lights on the duel. Looks like I win again, though I'm not sure how many times this makes it. Chun Yu Sung's record versus Jin-hyuck, 138 losses. Looks like it'll be the 139th next time. Yu Sung stays on the floor. Broken, humbled, defeated again. Jin-hyuck activates Commune and gives him the soft pitch. We need as many strong players as possible, especially if they're as strong as you. Chun Yu Sung is now a pawn, another recruit for the veteran company, exclusive pipeline to Jin-hyuck's skill collection. I won't have to go find him, Jin-hyuck smirks, since he just can't wait to deliver his skills to me. Yu Sung gets up, shaky, defeated, and in a rare moment of honest respect, he asks, "Come to think of it, I still don't know your real name." Jin-hyuck looks up. "We don't have that kind of relationship, do we? Then I'll call you by your original name." Jin-hyuck's eyes widen. He whispers, Wait! Yu Sung smirks. For the first time in the entire chapter, he's got the high ground. Whisper, "No, don't say it." Poop fart. Yeah, that's his original gamer tag, the username he made 17 years ago, the one that is now permanently in the Hall of Fame. Poop fart, the most dangerous player in the Tower of Trials. The man who soloed a Minotaur, branded a woman with fire, bullied the leader of the Fighting Father Guild, obtained the Saintess's skill. Beat a Sword Saint with Sword Sainthood he stole 5 seconds ago, and his screen name is Poop Fart. So Jin-hyuck and Teresa are pushing deeper into the ruin when the corridor goes dark. Detection magic picks up a massive power reading ahead. Something is coming, and then it steps out, an iron golem, a walking fortress of metal, and on top of it, a figure, pale skin, red eyes, fangs, a high-ranking vampire named Bellis, bloodkin of the progenitor, the owner of this entire ruin. Bellis gives them 2 choices: follow without resistance, or get dragged along after half the group becomes lunch. Then he activates Bloodfest, the attack force. Every guild member, every solo player gets snatched, kidnapped, taken hostage by the vampire's forces. But here's the thing. Jin-hyuck already knew this would happen. He obtained the Frozen Tear artifact and the demonic soul pill earlier. He's been setting pieces into position for this exact moment. Teresa hires him on a party contract. Chun Yu Sung, who is watching from the sidelines, tells her something chilling. The only person in the world who can defeat the progenitor is him. And so they descend, deep into the ruin, past sleeping monsters, past deactivated traps, into the innermost chamber, and there she is, Alice von Ataraxia, the progenitor, exiled to this underground palace for over 1,000 years. And the first thing she says? "The reason I invited you here is because of your scent, the scent of your blood, sweeter than anything I've ever smelled." She wants to keep Jin-hyuck as a personal blood bank. For 60 years, a high-quality lunch with a straw down his throat. Teresa is horrified. The attack force is in chains. Alice is too powerful to fight head-on, not without a full raid party. But Jin-hyuck? He doesn't even flinch. He, sarcastically, said, "I appreciate your goodwill, but I have no plans on living as a high-quality lunch." Alice's expression hardens. "Who said I wanted to hear your opinion? You don't have a choice in the matter." And that's when Jin-hyuck drops the one word that changes everything. "What if my offer to you is freedom?" Dead. Silence. Alice's eyes go wide, because freedom is the one thing she hasn't heard in 1,000 years. She was exiled, betrayed by her own kind, trapped behind a barrier she can't break. And this human, this insect, just said the one word that cuts deeper than any blade. She nearly kills him on the spot. She shouts, "How dare you say that word here?" But Jin-hyuck doesn't back down. He claims to be a representative of the demonic humans, a faction of players who rejected humanity and joined the tower's monsters. He says he's already contacted the temple on the 27th floor. He knows how to fool the barrier. Alice's right-hand man, Bellis, doesn't buy it. He attacks. Blood spears rain down. Teresa throws up sacred shield, holding the line with divine power, while Jin-hyuck executes his real plan. Because here's the truth. The real reason Jin-hyuck maintained his level 7 status this entire time. Through the Labyrinth, through the Awakening test, through every fight, was for this, the 7-star skill, Soul Transfer. It can only be used at level 7. It seals a soul into an item. Cooldown, 365 days, one soul at a time. Jin-hyuck activates Commune to gain Alice's slight trust. The magic circle appears. The clock is ticking. 1 minute before it vanishes forever. Alice looks at the circle, looks at Jin-hyuck. 1,000 years of imprisonment weigh on her. She whispers, "Can I trust you?" Jin-hyuck meets her eyes. "If you only give me the honor, I will not let you regret it." She consents. Bram's ring absorbs the soul of progenitor Alice. The barrier falls. The hostages are freed. And Jin-hyuck? He just recruited the most powerful being on the first floor of the tower, as a ring accessory. But that's not even the best part. Because the moment Teresa is saved from life-threatening danger, the copy condition triggers. You have succeeded in copying the unique ability, Blessing of the Star. Teresa's ultimate power. The ability to wield divine energy and revive from the threshold of death. Cooldown, 240 hours. Jin-hyuck now has an extra life. The escape isn't clean. Bellis's vampire kin, led by a beast named Morozla, ambushed the group on the way out. Blood wave, blood explosion. These vampires are not playing. But Jin-hyuck's element of fire is the perfect counter to vampire magic. Fire and darkness are complete opposites. He torches every bloodsucker that gets in range. Teresa rescues the hostages with sign of the cross. Then, the big moment. Jin-hyuck activates Grave of Swords. Bellis activates Dark Fighting Spirit level 9. Sword Demon versus Ancient Vampire. In the collapsing heart of the ruin. They clear the ruin. Teresa credits the masked player to the press outside. The Balhae Guild captain, Song Cheon-hwa, who tried to claim all the rewards, gets publicly humiliated when Teresa tells the reporters. She whispers, "This man alone cleared the ruin. We were nothing more than spectators at his stage performance." The masked player goes viral. Hall of Fame video drops. Every community forum explodes. Magic and swordsmanship, he can do anything. If he's acknowledged by the Saintess of Amsterdam, guess we all have to acknowledge him with our heads on the floor. Guilds start throwing money. Recruitment offers flood in. Then, Alice wakes up. Not the full progenitor, a mini version, materialized from Bram's ring in a sealed state. Maybe 1% of her true power. But even at 1%, she's stronger than any ordinary vampire, and she is not happy. She shouts, "How dare you stuff me in your dark and smelly pocket for a whole day? Human, do you not know who I am?" Jin-hyuck's response? He spins her around like a fidget spinner until she pukes. Tiny chibi Alice spinning in circles, tears flying. "Kya! Stop!" Pure thumbnail bait. But once she calms down, Jin-hyuck makes her the real promise. "I will eliminate everyone who betrayed you and help you regain the Ataraxia family's head position that was lost." Alice stares at him. This isn't a joke. This human is dead serious. And for the first time in 1,000 years, Alice von Ataraxia has an ally. So remember the Black Crow Guild? Park Hana's brother, Park Ha-jin's crew? The ones who tried to have Jin-hyuck killed inside the ruin by waking the guardians? Yeah, Jin-hyuck remembers too. He walks straight into the Black Crow Guild's headquarters, top floor. Guild leader Shin Gyeon-soo is there, screaming at Ha-jin for botching the assassination. I told you to discreetly kill him in the ruin, but you came back after messing that up? Our guild's reputation is being dragged through the mud. Then, the door opens. Jin-hyuck walks in. Shin Gyeon-soo activates Quicksword Level 5, an attack faster than the speed of sound. And Jin-hyuck? He catches the thrown sword like a baseball and throws it back. You had something perfect for me to throw. What follows is a hostile takeover. Alice, the vampire progenitor who looks like a child, destroys the building when someone calls her a kid. Jin-hyuck spares Park Ha-jin only because of his sister's service. And then he installs Kim Hee-woong, a Stanford-educated accountant who was the guild's secretary, as the puppet guild master. I'm going to leave running the guild to you. It's nothing too grand. You'll just be maintaining the outer appearance. Park Hana gets the Brand of Tribulation gig extended. Alice gets introduced as a mysterious ally. And just like that, Jin-hyuck now owns an entire guild. Dungeons, resources, manpower, intel, all of it. The masked player identity stays secret. Teresa promised to keep quiet. Only 2 people know the masked player and Kang Jin-hyuck are the same person. And with the ruin cleared, the awakening test passed, and the guild secured, all restraints are gone. Now, it's truly time for me to monopolize everything. Jin-hyuck reunites with Tae-min and Manhwa, introduces Alice and Kim Hee-woong, but there's a problem. The 3rd floor boss is blocking humanity's progress. Every guild's best hunting grounds are monopolized. There are no unknown spots left, or so everyone thinks. Of course, excluding me. He takes Alice to Moon Lake, the most beautiful scenery in the Tower of Trials. 12 statues surround the tranquil water. Hundreds of players have found a groove on one of the statues, but nobody has ever figured out the key. Because the key isn't metal, it's moonlight. Jin-hyuck uses his palm to regulate the angle and amount of moonlight entering the groove, matches it to the sequence engraved inside. And the underground door opens. Welcome to the lower ground, 1st floor. The spawning ground, a secret dungeon where monsters endlessly crawl out of the abyss. Infinite enemies, infinite experience. The ultimate farming spot that nobody else knows exists. Jin-hyuck uses Blessing of the Star to defrost the frozen tear, boosting his mana by 18. He activates Grave of Swords, and he finally stops holding back. After months of deliberately staying level 1, then level 7, Kang Jin-hyuck starts leveling up. I was sick of holding myself back all this time. The Rift stat kicks in, reduces the level gap by 33 levels against these level 25 monsters. Alice uses Bloodbind to lock them down, and Jin-hyuck just farms for hours, leveling at a speed nobody on the planet can match. Meanwhile, the world is falling apart. The 3rd floor boss commands an army of 100,000 statues, 8 full-scale raids, 15 attack forces of 100 people each. The survivors? Barely any. The guilds are at each other's throats. The Dangun Guild blames the Junghwa Guild for monopolizing dungeons. Maria from Olympus says players didn't have time to grow. Baek Jin-ho from Dangun is about to start throwing hands. Then, the demonic humans crash the meeting. A necromancer with the staff of greed, an army of undead at his fingertips. He offers to help defeat the 3rd floor boss, for a price. The guilds are disgusted, working with criminals, with people who kidnap players and run coin factories. Every representative says no, but they know they can't clear that army alone. And right when they're about to break, a video call request arrives. The masked player. Unknown. The super rookie who soloed the 1st floor ruin, Jin-hyuck. Every guild representative in the room goes silent. The man they've all been trying to recruit just called in. And the first thing Jin-hyuck does? He exposes the demonic human's staff of greed as a fake. The real staff of greed has a red gem embedded under the skull. There's no way you can make the real one with only 3 floors of materials. Look at the quality of those skeleton soldiers. They're too low. Those flimsy things won't last half a day in the boss room. He's planning to abandon you all after taking coins and items in the confusion. The necromancer's face drops. He shouts, "Arrogant bastard, you'll regret not taking my offer." And then Jin-hyuck makes his pitch. He'll clear the 3rd floor boss. Alone. No rewards. No payment. Just block the area so no other hunters can enter. The guilds are stunned. "Why would you do this for free?" Jin-hyuck puts on his best sentimental voice. He whispers, "For the person I consider as my precious comrade." He's talking about Teresa. And he's cringing from his own words. But it works. The old guild masters are tearing up. This is true camaraderie. I have nothing to say as a guild representative. Meanwhile, Jin-hyuck is recording the entire call. Because the recording of every guild considering a deal with demonic humans, that's leverage, political ammunition for later. He's already level 12, 1 day in the spawning ground. Alice drinks his blood to refill mana, complaining the entire time about their slave contract. He buys a mountain of seemingly useless items from the store. Gigantification pills, unknown cubes, ability catalysts, spider webs, ogre snot. Alice looks at the shopping list. You bought a bunch of useless stuff. They all have their purposes. Then he jumps into the deepest part of the underground, into the domain of something ancient. At the bottom of the spawning ground, past layers of increasingly dangerous insects, Jin-hyuck finds what he's looking for. A voice in the dark, ancient, divine, arrogant. Since you're the first human to ever come here, I was planning on killing you after some amusement. Anubis, the Egyptian god of death. Not his true form, just a consciousness projected from the 42nd floor. But even a fraction of a god's power is enough to vaporize most players. Didn't come all the way here to chat. Hurry up and come at me. Anubis activates his signature skill, Judgment of Anubis. It forces Jin-hyuck to answer 3 questions. If he answers all 3, the judgment activates. All stats reduced by 50%. All skills sealed for 1 minute. The copy condition? Make Anubis's patience run out. Destroy his vessel. So Jin-hyuck answers every question with maximum disrespect. Did he hear about this place from a vampire? That's right. Did he come hoping to obtain something? For a price on the black market? Does he think he can get out alive? If I can't slip out from the likes of you, I might as well just give up on life. 3 answers. 3 provocations. Judgment of Anubis activates. Stats halved, skills sealed. 1 minute, and Anubis summons his champion, a giant mantis, house-sized, blades for arms, chosen by a divine being, unbreakable pride. What do you think of my brave warrior? Jin-hyuck looks at the mantis, reaches into his pocket, pulls out a tiny phonograph, and presses play. The tiny phonograph sitting on a rock, musical notes drifting through the dark cavern, the giant mantis frozen mid-lunge, Anubis staring in complete confusion. He shouts, "The music of humans, all of a sudden? Have you gone mad?" Here's the thing. Back when the tower was a game, Jin-hyuck fought this exact mantis hundreds of thousands of times. And he discovered something insane. The mantis's attack patterns match a specific musical beat, the same rhythm every time. So he found the perfect song. And now? He's dodging a divine warrior's attacks by following the beat of the music, like a conductor leading an orchestra. Teresa watches in disbelief. She whispers, "This is definitely not a coincidence. It's a calculated move." 1 minute passes. Skills unseal. Jin-hyuck activates Grave of Swords and goes on the offensive. But he doesn't just kill the mantis, he plays with it, humiliates it, treats it like a toy. Because a warrior chosen by a god has one fatal weakness: pride. The final blow isn't a killing strike. It's provocation. Humiliation so complete that the giant mantis, the divine warrior who never thought it could lose, gives up on life. The warrior of Anubis has collapsed. It committed suicide. The shame was worse than death, most disrespectful kill in the entire series. Anubis is screaming. Disrespectful, disrespectful, disrespectful. He summons the hive, an ancient beehive that endlessly summons giant insects. Infinite proliferation. They can't die and keep multiplying. But Jin-hyuck was waiting for this. He pops the gigantification pill on the insects, making them grow 10 times their size. More mass means more drops, more experience. The insects he can't kill. He feeds them the unknown cube compound and the items he bought earlier. Turns the infinite army into a farming operation, and then he fuses element of fire and ice formation together. You have obtained the skill, Daylight. An anti-army skill that compresses mana and discharges it as light magic. Exceptional power. High efficiency. It works on everything in the field. He torches the hive, destroys Anubis's vessel, and the Egyptian god screams one final message before his consciousness retreats. You better stay alive and come to the top. When that day comes, I will enact judgment on your disrespect. Jin-hyuck just smirks. You don't have to scream like that. I'm going to. And the reward? Judgment of Anubis, a skill that reduces a target's stats by 50% and seals their abilities for 1 minute. But it can only be used once on the same person. And if you abuse it, you incur the wrath of the ancient Egyptian gods. The gods are watching now. Some are curious, some are hostile. Good, let them watch. Jin-hyuck checks his status screen. Level 19. Unique abilities. Fusion, Grave of Swords, Blessing of the Star, Judgment of Anubis. Skills, Element of Fire, Ice Formation, Daylight, and a dozen more. Rift stat, 100. Luck, 10. Adaptive, 10. 54 unspent stat points. He was level 7 2 days ago. He distributes stats evenly. Strength, dexterity, stamina, all jump from 8 to 16. The man is a walking nuclear warhead now. And then, the phone rings. Chun-Yu-sung. In 24 hours, the Awakened Association will be hosting a martial arts tournament. Players A rank and up are scheduled to participate. A martial arts tournament? While the third-floor boss raid keeps failing? Kang Jin-hyuck, participate in this tournament and have another battle with me. Jin-hyuck scoffs. Why should I? I don't want to waste my precious time on you. It would be a different story if you got some worthwhile skills to copy. Chun-Yu-sung's voice drops. No, you won't be able to refuse. A pause. I have a black market ticket. For the first time in 30 chapters, someone has leverage on him. The black market. The one place in the tower that sells items you can't find anywhere else. And Chun-Yu-sung has a ticket. A martial arts tournament, the entire Korean server's top players, guilds watching, the association running the show, and Jin-hyuck, the masked super rookie who soloed a ruin, humiliated a god, and took over a guild, about to step into the arena with his face showing. So the Awakened Association is hosting a martial arts tournament. Live broadcast, no edits, 24 participants, all A rank or higher. The whole point? Show the public that Korea's players are strong and trustworthy. Because after 8 consecutive failed raids on the third-floor boss, people are starting to panic. It's a PR stunt. A talent show. Everyone is treating it like a recruiting event. Chun-Yu-sung enters. Wins the entire tournament. Doesn't even break a sweat. And when they offer him his prize, a divine artifact replica, or the right to designate an opponent for one more match. He chooses the designation. Everyone expects him to call out some AAA rank powerhouse, the Black Cloud Guild's Jung Do-hyun, or maybe Hong Deok-pyo, the S-rank director. But Yu-sung doesn't point his sword at any of them. He points it up, into the stands, at a guy nobody's heard of. Stop acting dumb and come out. Kang Jin-hyuck, F-rank, the guy who won by default because nobody knew he existed. The commentators are losing it. They shout, "An F-rank player? Does he have some fetish for tormenting the weak in front of a crowd?" But Jin-hyuck walks down, steps into the arena, and what follows is not a fight. It's a demolition derby. Yu-sung activates soul-chasing sword chi, second movement, the upgraded version, sword energy flying everywhere. And Jin-hyuck, he just sighs. "All right, bring it on, you damn stalker." The details of this fight? Classified. Because what happens after is where things go nuclear. See, Jung Do-hyun, the Black Cloud Guild's AAA rank prospect, approaches Jin-hyuck after the match. All smiles. "Let's be colleagues." Handshake, friendly face. But Jin-hyuck activates Eye of Truth and sees through the act instantly. Do-hyun's real plan? Crush Jin-hyuck in front of the reporters to steal the spotlight for his guild. A calculated PR ambush. Copy condition. Figure out what his intentions are. Done in one look. Ding. You have obtained the skill, Giant's Clutch. Do-hyun activates Giant's Clutch, tries to crush Jin-hyuck's hand in a handshake. And Jin-hyuck, he doesn't budge, not an inch, then hits him with Judgment of Anubis. All stats halved, skills sealed. The AAA rank collapses in front of every reporter in Korea. Then, Hong Deok-pyo, the S-rank guild director, steps in. Blood Demon Chi activated. Full Berserker mode. And Jin-hyuck? He copies Blood Demon Chi off him by shattering his pride. Hits him with daylight to blind the arena. Puts him in a chokehold. Don't you think you should try to look dependable in this martial arts tournament that everyone is watching? That voice, from behind them, Han Sang-jin, the awakened association president. He's been watching the whole thing. Then, the announcement. Congratulations on becoming the 16th S-rank in Korea. Jin-hyuck went from F-rank to S-rank in a single afternoon, and the world just found out his name. Reporters swarming, flashbulbs exploding. The F-rank player who nobody knew is now S-rank. The entire stadium watching in shock. So being S-rank comes with perks. The association gives Jin-hyuck a private plane to Las Vegas, because that's where the black market is. And on that plane, a very interesting seatmate. Alex Judro, 24, level 27, class, necromancer, unique ability, forgotten ancient tomb. Copy condition? Reach maximum affinity with the subject. However, to do so, you must apply to the demonic human association. Yeah, this guy is a demonic human, and Alice, the vampire progenitor riding in Jin-hyuck's ring, can smell it. She whispers. The scent he gives off is strange. It's a displeasing and uncomfortable smell of blood. Alex plays the charming businessman act. Cosmetics company, expanding into awakened-related business, pulling out expensive cognac. But Jin-hyuck's already read his entire stat sheet and knows exactly who he is. Alex's real play? He wants Jin-hyuck to enter the third-floor boss room alongside the demonic humans, using his S-rank privilege to bypass the guild blockade. In exchange, an elixir, a potion of legends that can cure any disease, even heal a destroyed heart. But the catch? Jin-hyuck has to sign a contract of the dead. Breach the terms and you die, literally. Jin-hyuck refuses the contract. But the elixir? He just takes it. I'm also the greedy type who needs to have everything that I want. Alex's face, pure confusion, then terror. Because Jin-hyuck just openly robbed a demonic human executive mid-flight. and there's nothing he can do about it. Meanwhile, Jin-hyuck fuses Eye of Truth with Blood Demon Chi to create something terrifying. You have acquired the skill Eye of Gluttony. The superior version of Eye of Truth, immunity to all barriers, can inspect any status window. 2 new functions, view sharing and mind reading. The downside, using it too often risks corrupting your personality. Armed with his new skill, Jin-hyuck hits Las Vegas, but he doesn't go to a regular casino. He goes to Tortuga, a private gambling house where awakened players can use skills freely. The rule of the house? The one who gets scammed is the dumbass. So Jin-hyuck activates Source Seal on the cards, making them immune to the dealer's skill manipulation. Then uses Eye of Gluttony to literally read the dealer's mind. He cleans them out. Millions. The casino tries to rough him up. Then they find out he's S rank. He could destroy this whole casino. Instant apology. Full payout, plus mental damage compensation. All of that just to fund his auction shopping spree. The 175th Black Market Auction. Underground. Invitation only. Millionaires, guild executives, shadowy power brokers, all in one room. And Jin-hyuck walks in with a tiny vampire girl who thinks she's royalty. The auction starts. Meteoric iron, ancient relics, Tower of Trials artifacts. Jin-hyuck starts bidding. But there's a problem. Julius Cedric, Alex's master. The top necromancer of the Demonic Human Association. Level 30, unique ability, guardian of the pyramid. This old man is deliberately outbidding Jin-hyuck on everything. $7 million on trash, $3 million on junk, buying things he doesn't need just to drain Jin-hyuck's funds. He's planning on buying everything that I bid for. He'll secure the items I'm aiming for, then exchange them for information on unknown. Classic rich guy warfare. Burn money to gain leverage, but then the real prize appears. The first chessboard looks useless, just a board with no pieces. But Jin-hyuck knows something nobody else does about it. Cedric bids $10 million. Jin-hyuck, $30 million. The room goes silent. Cedric's jaw drops. I've already bought over $700 million worth of trash. They'll have all been for nothing if I stop here. He bids $100 million, and that's when Alice steps in. The auctioneer demands proof of funds. Alice reaches into her robe and pulls out a crown. Ancient, glowing with mana, dripping with gemstones. Just this crown alone is easily worth over $500 million. The entire auction house staring in complete silence. Cedric's face draining of color. The tiny vampire girl just financially annihilated the richest necromancer in the room. Cedric folds. The chessboard goes to Jin-hyuck. But Cedric isn't done. If he can't beat Jin-hyuck with money, he'll do it with force. He signals his people. The auction house starts collapsing. Alex activates Mana Furnace, draining the life force of everyone in the building to fuel Cedric's undead army. People are screaming. Civilians are dropping. A kid begs, "Please save me!" And Jin-hyuck's eyes go cold. You've crossed too far beyond the line. What follows isn't a fight. It's an execution. Alex's disciple attacks with undead. Jin-hyuck activates Grave of Swords. One slash the kid can't even see. Then daylight to torch the zombies. Then ice formation to freeze their legs while they're blinded by the flash. The necromancer realizes too late that he was never at an advantage. Jin-hyuck knew his skills, knew his patterns, knew his mana capacity. Every move was calculated before the fight even started. And then comes the punishment. Jin-hyuck doesn't kill him quick. He explains, calmly, surgically, exactly how the necromancer is going to die. Your lungs will slowly fill with blood for the next 30 minutes. Once your lungs have filled up, you'll finally be able to die from suffocation. The necromancer tries to write information about the demonic humans in exchange for his life. Jin-hyuck takes one look. I guess I won't need this anymore. You can have it back. He never planned to let him live. He just wanted to watch him suffer. And I'm begging you, try to suffer for as long as possible before you die. Absolute anti-hero walkaway energy. The hostages are saved. The father of the kid turns out to be useful. He doesn't report Jin-hyuck because Jin-hyuck saved his son. From the necromancer's corpse, a safe made by Michelangelo, and an ichthyosaur's heart, which Jin-hyuck fuses into a massive subspace inventory, 5,000 kilograms of storage. Shopping complete. Now, the third floor boss room. The one that 8 full-scale raids couldn't clear. The one guarded by 100,000 statue soldiers, and Jin-hyuck walks in, alone. But first, a pit stop. The human-faced tree. An ancient spirit that lives in the boss room and offers a special reward if you can answer 3 of its questions. Questions so insanely difficult that no player in history has ever gotten all 3 right. Question 1. What is the ideal water level and temperature for the seawater species Kelgorn to inhabit? The chat loses it. Who the hell would possibly know that? This is designed to be answered incorrectly. Jin-hyuck doesn't even pause. 17 SM deep, 15.5 degrees Celsius. The tree sputters. I didn't say if you're right or not yet. I know it's right, so just give me the next question. Question 2. Some absurd cooking recipe involving spongy tissue, desert salt, and holy water. Jin-hyuck rattles off the answer like he's reading from a textbook. Question 3. When does the crystal eagle of the sky plateau mate? On the day of the first snowfall in the tower. Correct! First human ever to answer all my questions. Now the tree offers 3 maple leaves, red for fire, yellow for defense, green for speed. Everyone expects him to pick green for the army boss fight, but Jin-hyuck doesn't want any of them. Get those ordinary maple leaves out of here. Hand over the black leaf that you're hiding. The tree panics. Huh. How do you know about the black leaf? Please, I can't give you that. I'll give you 2 leaves if you pick something else. Jin-hyuck threatens to report the tree to the administrator for breaking its own pledge. The tree folds. Pure, I know your secret's energy. Black leaf, AAA difficulty. Grants the corruption attribute. Deals 1% bonus damage to a target's max health for 3 minutes. On a boss with 100,000 HP, that's 1,000 HP per tick, for free. Good. I've obtained the final piece of the puzzle. And then, the moment the entire tower has been waiting for. Jin-hyuck enters the 3rd floor boss room. Live broadcast. The entire Korean server watching. And his streaming energy? Absolute 0 chill. Chat. Could he actually beat the boss? I trust him. Don't think he can clear the boss battle, just a gut feeling. Jin-hyuck reading chat mid-fight. I don't care whether you trust me or not, but I'd appreciate it if you could stop the babbling. It's distracting. Chat. He's ignoring his viewers. This bro has a badass concept, LMAO. I'd usually be pissed off, but I weirdly am not. What is this feeling? Am I a pervert? Peak streaming content. A fandom built on not giving a shit. But the fight isn't simple, because the demonic humans showed up. Cedric, the master necromancer from the auction, is here with his full army. Mummy soldiers with bandages as hard as steel, a death knight, and he's been waiting for this moment. He planned to let Jin-hyuck weaken the boss, then sweep in and steal the kill. Except Jin-hyuck already anticipated this. He starts destroying Cedric's command positions, the 4 strategic points the necromancer uses to efficiently control his undead. One by one. 3rd position, destroyed. 1st position, destroyed. The entire command structure collapses. Cedric's army falls into chaos, but Cedric isn't done. He summons his strongest troops, mummy soldiers that can freely use bandages as hard as steel. Both defense and attack, his last trump card. And that's when Jin-hyuck goes somewhere nobody expected. He closes his eyes, and he remembers, flashback, a training montage, a master's voice. Your sword is sharp and powerful, but its flaw is that its force is dispersed, like the wind enveloping the air. Ground yourself within the fluidity, and at the right moment, outstretch strongly. Jin-hyuck opens his eyes. A portion of the skill soul-chasing sword dance has been reproduced. His understanding of swordsmanship dramatically increases. The dagger in his hand starts pulling mana into a whirlpool, a vortex strong enough to drag in everything around it. The mummy soldiers fly toward him like they're caught in a tornado, and Jin-hyuck shreds them all. Cedric watches his entire army get vaporized. His double shield, broken. His reinforcements, absorbed. Then Jin-hyuck walks toward him. How do you act exactly like your disciple, acting all high and mighty, and then pathetically running away when you're about to lose? Cedric's eyes widen. That means, you're Kang Jin-hyuck! Jin-hyuck doesn't deny it. Send your disciple my regards. He kills Cedric. But the boss fight isn't over. The statue army is still standing, and Jin-hyuck's mana is running low from the soul-chasing sword dance. He reaches into his inventory, pulls out a mana recovery potion, cracks it.